film is, even though everybody likes to look at movies, it's very different from music, right? So music is kind of universal, and you have all kinds of people listening to all kinds of music. Film is a little different. People have their specific types of films that they like to look at. I like to look at horrors. I like to look at comedies. And the interesting thing about Caribbean filmmakers is that even though I find Caribbean people in general to be very humorous and fun-loving and all of this stuff, they don't make films like that. The films mirror real life. The films tap into the other side that you don't see, the undercurrents of what people think and what people feel. That's what the filmmakers tend to tap into.
Trying to tell me about?
We make child.
What the ass you mean we make child?
Sébastien protesta de son innocence, mais il ne fut pas écouté.
There's a feature film on Saturday night, I think, that is from Trinidad. It's a film called Cheese, and it's about a local weed guy who figures out a very ingenuous way of selling weed. And so the story is about him and his life and how it unraveled. It is comedic, it is beautiful to watch.
You see, there's €1. You understand? That's worth 7 million times what we have here though. Sometimes in life, where you want to go, you can't go on foot. You need somebody to tell you.
Latest Walter Rodney documentary, What They Don't Want You to Know. So that would be a good, for people who are interested in the history of what happened to Walter Rodney in Guyana. That would be a good film to watch. We also have a film by Guyanese filmmaker, an activist, an artist, an organizer, Joan Cambridge Mayfield. It's her first film, I believe. I may be speaking out of turn, but it's the first one that we're showing. So that's one. And then we have a Haitian film. It's the first Haitian film well, not the first, but it was nominated for an Academy Award in 2022. And so we have that film and a bunch of others.
When you're out there, all you hear is the breeze and the wave. Ooh, I just saw them rolling, coming towards you.
And all of these films have some magical, spiritual element to them. And then we have another program called The Fields. And in that program, we have quite a few films about traditional Caribbean things. So like traditional Caribbean carnival characters, like not in Guyana specifically, but in Trinidad and Grenada, there's a carnival character called Shakespeare. So there's a Shakespeare Mass. So there's a film, an art film that sort of works with that theme. And then there's a film about Bomba Ancestral, which is a type of traditional practice that Afro-Puerto Ricans engage in. And so there's some other films in that program too. But so we have some traditional spirituality. We have a film called Kumina Queen, which is about Kumina, which is a traditional African religion and dance in Jamaica. So we have a traditional spirituality, and then we have the little magical realism on the other side. So some of that is some good, Caribbean stuff. So a lot of times when we program the films, they play. If the filmmakers are present, we usually engage in like a lengthy conversation with the filmmakers after. If there are no filmmakers, we invite people who are knowledgeable on the subject matter of the films to engage in conversation between themselves and with the viewers. People are used to looking at Hollywood films, which, at least when I did it, it was like other people. Those are Americans, or those are Chinese, or something like that. But when you're actually looking at films with Caribbean people in them and hearing Caribbean accents, whether it's from Guyana or Trinidad or Jamaica or wherever it's from, there's a connection that you feel to the story. It feels very personal, and it feels like this could be your life or your friend's life or your mother's life or something like that. And so that sort of informs the types of conversations we have after, and the depth at which people unpack a lot of the issues that they have that they might have seen reflected